It's the Hinkle Holiday Classic. Ben Erickson with all the play-by-play action coming your way. The Hinkle Holiday Classic, of course, sponsored by Meyer. Two teams we have for you here in this game going to be the Marian-Central Hurricanes and those Bulldogs from Grant. Marian-Central is 7-3 on the 2015-16 season. The Grant Bulldogs are 4-5. Let you know how each of these teams has fared so far in the tournament here in just a minute. Marian-Central is 1-1, including a tough loss on the opening day of this tournament back on Saturday the 19th. They lost to Zion Benton. And it is Grant are also 1-1. So featuring teams who have also done similarly with their records in this tournament. 1-1 against 1-1. Your starters for Marian-Central as Sam Ulrich lines it up at center court. His other four starters are going to be Limbaugh, Kaufman, Pischke, and Masinski. The Bulldogs, Lewis, Mobley, Kuziak, Kerr, and Kay. Was Marian-Central controlling the opening tip-off. The Hurricanes are wearing white jerseys with white, blue, and red stripes down the sides, looking to inbound. They've got it reset now. Back the other way. Grant wearing solid red, black, and white jerseys. Low post play, nothing going. From about 16 feet out, that shot by Andy Kay is no good. And here comes Adam Pischke, the fine point guard for Marian-Central. Getting it down low to Ulrich. That pass is not handled, and Grant comes up with it back the other way, right to left. Ben Kuziak is fouled from behind, and that's going to send him to the line for our first free throws of this game. This is the third time I've had the opportunity to see Marian-Central. Jack Mosinski had 14 points in the first game of this tournament, 3 in the next. The hot hand, though, for his team is Adam Pischke. He had 25 in the first game on Saturday and then 19 points yesterday. First free throw for Kuziak is good. Second one is short. Rebound handled by Josh Hornay. Hornay, one of the starters, excuse me. I had Sam Limbaugh in the starting lineup mistakenly, but it is Josh Hornay. A lot of back and forth here as they're finally able to get it in, are those Grant Bulldogs. Fling it. Far side, dribbling into the baseline, trying to get up is Mobley. That shot is no good. And here comes Pischke. He likes to take it right at the backs of the defenders. For three, Ulrich, it's good. Sam, although he's the biggest guy down on the floor right now at 6'8", a junior, that's his second three-point field goal of this tournament. Pretty nice when you've got a big guy that can shoot like that. You know he loves it too. Most of his time spent down there in the paint in those low post positions. Grant trying to get something going. Logan Lewis with it. Dribbles with the right, tries to go down low, gets a man in the air. John Kerr not fouled, and it's taken away by the Hurricanes. There goes Pischke again. Popper, three-pointer, no good. Off the front part, rebound to Mobley. Mobley gets it up the floor, finds Kuziak. Kuziak, the only point so far for these Grant Bulldogs. Nice little give and go there, and a nice cut to the basket by Logan Lewis. Nothing doing. Ulrich blocks and denies Andy Kay's layup attempt. 5:51, pretty quick played game so far. I like the pace, a lot of back and forth. Another whistle. Looked like a foul away from the ball. It was. It was a foul against number 34, John Kerr. Adam Pischke hands it off to Tom Kaufman. Kaufman had 8 points in the first game, 5 in the second in this tournament. For Marian-Central with that 7-3 record. Both of these teams 1-1 in the tournament, as we said. For three, and that one's good. Tom Kaufman cashes in on that three-point field goal. It is 6-1, 5-point lead for Marian-Central. Another steal. Pischke ends up with it. We've got a 3-on-3. Nice pass up the floor and a reverse layup by Jack Masinski. Masiski, the third man into the scoring column, and that's going to draw a Grant timeout from the bench. Going to be a 30-second timeout. Here's your scoring so far. Jack Masinski's got 2, Tom Kaufman with 3, Sam Ulrich with a long three-pointer. That's for Marian-Central. On the other half of the floor, Ben Kuziak has got the lone Bulldog point. Hinkle Holiday Classic coming for these Grant Bulldogs. Nice little give and go there, and a nice Hurricanes down there. It's been exciting to watch this team. They played a fantastic game against the Zion Benton ZBs. They had the lead the entire game, did Marian-Central, only to relinquish that lead in about the last 2 minutes or so, due much in part to just an incredible point guard, Deshaun Wilson, 5'9" senior for Zion Benton, who, as one of the coaches told me, is currently uncommitted to any college. So get a chance to see him later in the tournament, you'll see exactly what I mean. Extremely fast, and that was quite the matchup between Pischke and Deshaun Wilson. Here we are, back game action, 5:04 on the running clock. Far side, Logan Lewis with it. Inside, finds Kuziak, now back to 34, Kerr. Kerr with it, hounded closely. Now in the corner for 3. Front part, no good. Rebound, Pischke. He is pesky. He'll get a handful of rebounds, and he will just take that ball and run it right to the basket, kick it off if he has to. Has made some great acrobatic moves and some nice lay-ins, usually resulting in him ending up on the floor, but didn't stop him from getting 25 in the first game of the tournament and then 19 yesterday. Pischke dribbles with the left, passes off, far side, Kaufman for 3, and that one's good. Tom Kaufman with his second three-pointer of the morning. Mobley brings it back this way to Lewis. Now near side, Kuziak. Kuziak, nice little spin dribble, gives it off to Mobley. Long 3, 21-footer is good. James Mobley now. It is 11-4 in favor of Marian-Central. Just 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Pischke over the head finds Ulrich. Had a 3 earlier, nothing doing that time. Far side, Hornet. Pischke looking to pick up a pick. Ulrich, little touch with the right hand, and it's good. Sam has got 5. Had 12 points on Saturday, had 9 yesterday. Logan Lewis, bounce pass, finds Kerr. Kerr, strong move, draws the foul. Will it count? Counted, it does. He's going to have the and 1. John Kerr gives his team 6 points with a chance to make it 7 and only trailing by 6 should he do it. Now Sam Limbaugh is going to check into the game for Hornet. And again, I mistakenly had him listed as a starter. Kerr unable to connect on the and 1. Rebound, Ulrich looks up the floor, finds Pischke. Pischke, underhand pass in the corner for 3. That one's short, but getting his own rebound is Masinski. Going to restart things here. Ulrich with it. Taking it in, hard with the left hand, a bit too hard. Rebound, Mobley. In traffic, picks up the dribble, finds Kuziak to Lewis for 3. Logan Lewis has got 3. Things get a little bit closer. It's within 4 with 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Pischke kicks it out, far side. Another 3 on the way. It's good. Masinski connects. He's got 5. 16-9, a little bit more comfortable of a lead for the Hurricanes. Mobley looking to reverse the layup. Ulrich mistakenly gives it up to his teammate Sam Limbaugh, who wasn't looking, and then Ulrich with a block. Ulrich, one of the taller players in this tournament. We've seen some guys listed 6'8", 6'9" for 3 in the corner. Off the front, no good. Ulrich, the big man, comes up with the rebound. Strong move, but he lowers the shoulder and draws the charging foul. 2:20 in the first quarter. A little bit more energy in this game. Last game was a low-scoring affair. Was the Bartlett Hawks upending the Johnsburg Skyhawks. Ulrich is going to take a breather. Pischke ends up with it. Safety valve on the pass right there he is. Gavin Scott has checked into the game for Marian-Central. Scott had 3 points yesterday, Gavin. And the Bulldogs now going to pick things up. Logan Lewis bringing it across, far side to Kyle Dupree, who's in there now for the Bulldogs. Lewis with it again. Gives it to Mobley. Mobley for 3, it's good. And just like that, it's a 4-point game. Pischke behind the back dribble, gonna reset things again, calls out the offense. Dish to Kaufman, back to Pischke. Up top to Limbaugh, swing it far side. To Thomas Menner, who's in there. On the floor, ending up is Pischke. Landed hard on his back right there, but Adams got his first field goal of the game for 3, no good. Rebound controlled by the Hurricanes. Again, the Hurricanes wearing the white jerseys, the Grant Bulldogs solid red in black. In the corner, Kaufman. That one's no good. And the Bulldogs going to bring it back this way with 1:01 on the running clock. From the corner, Dupree, that's a 3-pointer, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout for Marian-Central. It's back to a 3-point game. Here's the scoring so far. Logan Lewis has a 3. James Mobley with a pair of 3s for the Bulldogs. Ben Kuziak has a free throw to his credit. John Kerr with 2. Kyle Dupree, who just sank that 3 and drew the Marian-Central timeout. Jack Masinski's got 5, Adam Pischke with 2, Tom Kaufman with 6, and Sam Ulrich with 5. So 5 players in the scoring column for the Bulldogs, just 4 right now for Marian-Central. That's the way things are here with 54.4 left here in the first quarter. Thanks for being here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. Maybe you were here watching the game and you went home, you wanted to watch it again. We appreciate that on our Hinkle Holiday Classic channel. Sponsored by Meyer. The host school, the Golden Eagles from Jacobs High School. We're in Algonquin, Illinois for this one. Just 3 days removed from Christmas. The exciting conclusion of this one will take place on Saturday, December 26. All these teams vying for pool position to see where they'll be seated. Gavin Scott gets it over to Xavier Awe, who's in there. Kaufman with it. Goes to the right. Hands off to Scott. Back to Kaufman. Marian-Central slowing things down here. One more shot before they get to the second quarter is what they're hoping. Kaufman in the corner. A lot of exterior dribbling taking place now, as you'd imagine. Kaufman doing most of it at this point, as Pischke has sat down to take a breather. Kaufman, no good. Grant's got it. One last shot up in the air. Let's see what happens. No good. Goes off the glass. And it was Mobley who nearly sank that one, and he kind of skipped off the court there. So at the end of the first quarter, it is the Marian-Central Hurricanes 18 and the Grant Bulldogs 15. Just updated you on the scoring, so we'll keep it right here. Talk about some of the other games that are taking place today. Your next game is going to feature Cary Grove versus those ZBs from Zion Benton. So if you're watching this game now live online, stick around for that one to start at noon. Prairie Ridge and Huntley, those are two typical foes. And they're telling me from the truck they want to talk about replays. What do you got for us down there? All right. I think they're going to show us the Ulrich block. So here, our first replay of the tournament coming your way right here on the Hinkle Holiday Classic YouTube channel. I'm just as excited as you are as I'm watching the monitor here. Logan Lewis. You see Ulrich right there swatting that out of bounds. Very nice. There's our first replay of the tournament. So just one of the things that we bring your way here. Nicely done in the truck. Don't forget to put up that replay graphic. You've got it right on that score computer. The rest of the games today, Crystal Lake South versus Lakes, Rockford Boylan against South Elgin, Barrington and Corliss, and the nightcap, the Jacobs Golden Eagles, the host school against Rockford Jefferson. That ought to be a good game. Rockford Jefferson, one of those exciting teams to also watch here in the tournament. Jeff Myers, the Elgin Sports Hall of Fame broadcaster, is going to bring you the last two games of the evening. Fresh 8 on the clock. And away we go. The Grant Bulldogs have it. They are within 3. And for 3, it's Kyle Dupree. That's his second three-pointer of the game. It looked like he almost got fouled, which would have been interesting. One of those opportunities would have could have been an and one and result in a 4-point play. However, the official's a lot closer than I am. Nothing doing on that. Sam Limbaugh still in there, gets it to Pischke, unable to handle it, and it is Logan Lewis now. 2-on-2. Dupree puts it up and it trickles in. Just like that, Dupree's got 8 points, 7:21 on a running clock here in the second quarter. Got a chance to show you our first replay just a few moments ago. Mostly because I forgot to bring the replay machine when we started the tournament 2 days ago. Looking up the floor, down in the corner, Dupree with a hot hand, and it's still hot. My goodness, he opens the quarter with 8 points. And how about that? Grant has taken the lead 23-18. Mr. Dupree, nice to see you. Kyle Dupree has now got 11 points on the day, including 8 points in this quarter. And when you start hitting those three-point field goals like that, it just takes one person to get hot. And that's probably what they're talking about now in that Grant Bulldog lineup. Hey, Kyle's got us up. Now let's see what else we can do. As you see the coach for the Grant Bulldogs down there discussing things. Wayne Bosworth, the head coach. Marian-Central trying to reconfigure things now as you see them wearing the white, red, and blue jerseys. There's some fans here today. A lot of people still having to work before the holiday, and if you're at work right now watching the game, make sure to keep that window small so you can exit out when your boss comes walking in. I'm just kidding. Thanks for being here. Ben Erickson with the play-by-play action. We'll hand it off later to Alec Giannakopoulos. Tegan Pompa will be here later, and Jeff Myers and Tegan Pompa will bring it home for you tonight when we see those exciting games later on here from Jacobs High School. Hinkle Holiday Classic, sponsored by Meyer. Pischke with it. Gets it over to Xavier Awe. Spins around. Kick it back to Masinski. Ulrich vying for post. See if they're trying to get something going low. Pischke fakes left, goes right. He's fouled. He's going to the line for 2. Adam Pischke was flawless from the, had 1 free throw miss yesterday, 4 for 5. Those were part of the 19 points that he had. Opening night, did not get to the free throw line, but still had, opening night he did get to the line. He was 5 for 7, part of his 25-point effort. Pischke good from the line that time. As we update our notes here, Dupree, who would have guessed, off the glass. That one doesn't fall for him, though. 8 points in the quarter. Pischke through traffic. Nobody in front of him that time. He launches a 3, and that's dangerous. Cannot leave that guy alone. He's got 7 now. Tie game, 23-23. Bit of a seesaw battle here in the last game minute. Was all Marian-Central in the first quarter. Grant Bulldogs have staged a wonderful comeback, namely on the shoulders of Kyle Dupree, who's got it right now. Almost picks up the pivot foot, kicks it over to Lewis, now in the corner to Mobley, far side. He's hounded closely by Awe. Logan Lewis now with it. Get it inside to Kuziak. Kuziak flings it up, it's no good. Pischke with the rebound. He gets a lot of rebounds like that, kind of by himself in the lane a lot. Scoops it up, no good. The follow and finish, also no good. Ulrich tries to go in strong, and he's stripped from behind. But Masiski's got it, and then it's taken away by Mobley. Mobley all by himself, and a nice finger roll layup. James Mobley has now got 8 in the game. Grant, 2-point advantage. Pischke is fouled on the floor. And that stops the clock at 5:16 left here in the first half. Pischke's got it. Far side, fling it over to Masinski. Nearly picks up the foot. Gets through traffic, tiptoeing through. The shot's no good, but he is fouled on the floor the second time in just a few game seconds. So because of his aggressive play and how well he handles the ball and takes it to the hole, he picks up a couple of fouls on the floor, and that'll come into play later as Ulrich now is fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Ulrich has got 5 points in the game. He was 1 for 1 from the free throw line on Saturday, and Sam was also 1 for 1 from the free throw line yesterday on an and one. First one is good. Ulrich now with 6. Couple substitutions to report for Grant. It is Nick Kovelis who has checked into the game. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Nick. Second one by Ulrich is good, and we're back to a tie game. Ulrich with 7. Kuziak gets it over to Mobley now. Dupree and Mobley up top. Lewis far side. Dupree wants it. Kuziak with it. Dupree's got it now. Back to Kuziak. Quickly to Mobley. Mobley going to dribble it in, pick it up, throw it off the glass. It's good. Nice play there for James Mobley. He's got 10 points this morning. Pischke takes it in with the left all the way to the hole, and it's good. Again, you cannot leave that guy all alone. He will cut through traffic like nobody's business. That time, a good example of what he can do, and he'll keep doing it to you if you let him. Kuziak over to Lewis. Bounce pass. Nice cut by Dupree. Puts it up on the right. Blocked and denied by Ulrich. Mobley ends up with it. Tries to find Dupree. Kick it off to the corner to Logan Lewis. Nice bounce pass in the post to Kovelis. The shot no good. And here comes Pischke again. As long as your back is turned to him, he'll take it right at you like he did just then. Another right-handed layup for Pischke. Got to get a body on that guy, and that's going to draw a Grant timeout, a wise timeout, as things can quickly get out of hand if Pischke's going to take it to you like that. And there he is, fired up, high fives all around. Grant, high school, playing in this one against Marian-Central. Marian-Central with the 2-point lead, 29-27 over Grant. I think I've got that listed right. I've got Grant listed as the visiting team on my sheet here. Marian-Central as the home team. Seesaw battle, kind of hard to figure it out sometimes up on the scoreboard, especially when both of these teams are technically visitors in this gym. And away we go, 3:56 running clock. Back-to-back battle in the last few game moments, that's for sure. Logan Lewis with it. Far side, Mobley takes it strong with the right, picks up the dribble, finds Dupree. Look out, this guy can get hot in a moment's notice. Ball stolen away there by Xavier. Takes it all by himself. Does he get the foul? No, and the shot doesn't fall either. Ball is saved into the hands now of Josh Hornay, and there's a whistle and a foul. Xavier Jack Masinski, Adam Pischke on the floor, as is Josh Hornay and Sam Ulrich for Marian-Central. First one away is good for Hornay. Hornay had 3 yesterday and 2 in the opening game of this tournament. Second one hits the back part, doesn't drop, and the rebound is taken down by Mobley. Get it back to Lewis, who will run the point and direct traffic. Far side, Dupree off his fingertips and out of bounds. Dupree may have been thinking about what he was going to do with the ball before he had it. Substitution, Tom Kaufman going to check back into the game as Xavier is going to have a rest. Drew Walker has since entered the game for Grant. Masinski, get it down to Ulrich. Ulrich thinking about it a little too much perhaps. Does he get it to go? It does. Count it. What do I know? Sam Ulrich with the 2 and a chance for the and one. Had one yesterday. He's got 9 points this morning in this game number 18 of the Hinkle Holiday Classic, sponsored by Meijer. Lets it go, and it's good. Ulrich converts the and one. Ben Kuziak is going to check into the game for the Bulldogs. 33-27, Marian-Central with the lead. Far side, Kuziak gets it to Cavellis, now to Lewis. Dupree somehow ended up on the floor there, trying to cut to the basket. 2:54 running clock. Marian-Central, Grant Bulldogs. We've got a good one here. Give it to Dupree. Throws it up with the left. He's swatted by Ulrich, but it doesn't matter as there's a foul called. And that's going to send Dupree to the line. This is Dupree's first opportunity at the foul line. Foul was committed by Jack Masinski for Marian-Central. The lefty lets it go. It's good. Dupree now has got 10 points. Excuse me, 12 points after that make. 2:46 on the clock, 33-28. Grant had the lead briefly, due much in part to this guy shooting your free throw. And that one's good. 2 for 2 from the line is Dupree. Brings it within 4. 2:44 running clock. Adam Pischke, here he is again. Had kind of a rough landing on one of his layup attempts. Doesn't seem to have bothered him, as we've got a three-pointer on the way by Gavin Scott. That's Gavin's first score here today. Had no points in the first night, 3 points yesterday. For three is Walker, and it's good. How about that? Walker says, I see your three, here's mine. Here comes Pischke. Quick pass, Ulrich. Ulrich, strong, gives it up. Gets it over to Hornet, who drops it. Hornet's got 3 in the quarter, 3 for the game. Up the floor, Dupree now with it. Back to Lewis. Walker with it. Back up top now to Dupree. Lewis from 3. No good. Rebound by Gavin Scott, who had a 3 just a moment ago. Tom Kaufman with it. Bounce pass. Ulrich quickly off the glass, and it's good. Sam Ulrich putting some nice points on the board here, and a nice give by Tom Kaufman. 40-32. Marian-Central trying to extend the lead again. Walker with it. Dribbles with the right, kicks it out to Dupree. He's looking 3. Will he take it? No. Hounded too closely by Hornet. Lewis with it now near side. Ball taken away by Marian-Central. Pischke going to do the honors. Gets up quickly. Draws no foul, lands and hits the wall really hard next to our camera person. That's 2 collisions or 2 times that he's collided with the floor of the wall really hard. He felt like he was pushed. As you see him kind of motion to his bench, and it looks like he's probably gonna take a rest for a moment. Xavier Awe is gonna come in for him, and probably a wise decision by coach. He ended up on the floor hard, as I told you once, and that time into the wall really hard. So kind of reminiscent of some of the smaller point guards that you see in the NBA. Derrick Rose comes to mind, who a lot of times will end up on the floor, especially in the old days before he got hurt. Bounce pass, whistle, and a foul was intended for Kuziak. 1 minute and 6 seconds here. Marian-Central is up by 8. Today's game being produced entirely by high school students from South Elgin High School, by the way. Keep watching the Hinkle Holiday channel here on YouTube. You'll see more of that. Wow, what an awareness there by Logan Lewis, who bounced it off one of the defenders and then got the misdirection. Drew Walker gets it off the glass. It's good. It's a 6-point game. 56 seconds remain here. Drew Walker's got 5 points since entering the game for the Grant Bulldogs. He guards Kaufman right now, who goes with the right. Gives it to Scott. Scott, the left. Probably one more shot here for Marian-Central. They set this up pretty well usually. Kaufman gets it over to Menner. Menner, overhand pass off the head of Xavier Awe, but right into the hands of Tom Menner. Now it's back to Kaufman. Guarded closely by Walker. Marian-Central in the white. Grant Bulldogs in the solid red. Awe nearly tied up. Jump ball would have kept it on that side of the floor anyway. 15 seconds. Kaufman and Walker, nice battle beyond the arc. And now denying the passing lane is Kuziak. Back to Kaufman. All wants it down in the corner. We've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball before the Gavin Scott three-point attempt, which did not go. Kaufman guilty of making the foul. Just his first, but it happens with 2.8 seconds left here as Mobley and Kerr are going to check back into the game. Both those guys starters for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs retreat now in man-to-man. The entire floor is spread. Kerr gets it to Walker, and that one doesn't go. So at the end of the first half, it's the Marian-Central Hurricanes 40 and the Grant Bulldogs 34. Let me update you on the scoring first for the Grant Bulldogs. Logan Lewis has got 3 points. James Mobley has 10. Ben Kuziak with 1. John Kerr has got 2. Kyle Dupree has got 6, 8, 11, 14 points. And Drew Walker with 5. For Marian-Central, who's got the lead, Jack Masinski has got 5. Tom Kaufman, a pair of threes, give him 6. Josh Hornay, 1 for 2 from the line and a field goal, gives him 3 points. Gavin Scott with 3. Sam Ulrich had 5 in the first quarter. He's got 12 for the game. And Adam Pischke here has got 2, 4, 6, 8, and a three-pointer. He's got 11. So that's the scoring for both of these teams. They are both 1-1 in the tournament. And that kid right there, I feel how you look, buddy. It's been a long few days, and some of the fans are resting up in the stands. There's certainly no absence of basketball here. If you want to get your fill of basketball, it can be had here. There are 3 tournaments going on all at the same time here at Jacobs High School, home of the Golden Eagles. This, the Holiday Hinkle Classic, sponsored by Meyer. We'll be back with the exciting second half. Grant, Marian-Central with the lead right now, 40-34. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. third quarter, a fresh 8 up on the scoreboard, and we'll get that 8 minutes up on your scoreboard here momentarily. It's Marian-Central with the lead, 40-34, over the Grant Bulldogs. Get a chance now to get a little bit closer look at Marian-Central as they're on our half of the floor. Sam Ulrich wastes no time, gets one up with the left hand. And Logan Lewis takes it across. Down now in the corner to Kuziak. Kuziak with it, wants to take it himself. Can he get over Ulrich? He does. Nice drive there for Kuziak. He's got 3 this morning. 7.5 minutes, running clock, third quarter, Hinkle Holiday Classic. This is game number 18. Quickly up the floor now, Pischke with the miss that time, and a nice cut to the basket. Laying it in is John Kerr. Hard not to think of the old Chicago Bull, the Bull coach, and the old Chicago Bull broadcaster when you say that name, Johnny Red Kerr. Ulrich, baseline popper with the right hand that time, and it's no good, but the putback by Kaufman is. Nice putback there by Tom Kaufman. Kaufman, by the way, has got 8. Marian-Central 7-3, looking to improve to 8-3 should they hang on and win this one. Grant Bulldogs 4-5. There's been some teams in this tournament who haven't had the best overall records, as that one is swatted out of play by Adam Pischke. I'm a bit dismissive of some of those records because some of the teams have looked way better than their record would indicate. Cary Grove, one of the teams that comes to mind, they're 2-8 somehow, and they showed ability to be able to score via the three-point basket, as that shot there is no good, and a foul over the back is called, I believe, against Sam Ulrich. Bulldogs chasing 6. Pischke gives it up in favor of Masinski. Masinski trying to get it across half court. He does, bumped by Mobley, no whistle. Mobley ends up on the floor. Last touch by him as he jumps over the bench. Good effort there by Mobley, who ended up sitting on the floor there and then getting up and almost getting control of that ball. Substitution for the Bulldogs. Nick Kuvelis checks back into the game for those guys. Grant wearing solid red, Marian-Central in white. Pischke comes up a little short on that three-pointer. Up the floor, Mobley with it. His counterpart, Kyle Dupree, has got 14 points in the game for the Bulldogs. And a nice defensive effort there. The ball finally trickles out of bounds. Last touched by a Hurricane player, Marian-Central. Head coach for Marian-Central, Curtis Price. Wayne Bosworth for Grant Community High School, and they call them the Bulldogs. 5:53 here, you see it up on the screen, 44-38 as well. Tom Kaufman near side. High pick applied by Ulrich. Kaufman, corner, Pischke. Pischke with the left. Gets it back to Masinski, who eyed the three for a moment. Nice jump stop and an effort to the basket. He is stopped, and here come the Bulldogs. Lewis quickly up the floor. And fouled on the way to the basket is number 25, or excuse me, that's number 34, John Kerr. It's his second trip to the line, and his first one is good. Next one on the way. That one rolls out, it's no good. Kerr's got it back. Kerr now, free throw line extended, and he's got it. So Kerr with 5 points in the third quarter, 7 for the game. On the gallop is Pischke driving into the lane. Does it go? We'll see what they call it. That is an offensive foul against Adam Pischke. And a timeout called, I believe, over here on the Marian-Central side. So 30-second timeout, as you see the official indicate there. It's just a 3-point game. Marian-Central's had the lead, although Grant did make a outstanding run in the second quarter, namely by Kyle Dupree, who had 11 points in the second quarter. And we're back here, 5:14, third quarter coming your way. Game 18, as we mentioned. Marian-Central Hurricanes wearing the white, Grant Bulldogs in the solid red and black. Both of these teams 1-1 in this tournament. More exciting games to come. That Zion Benton team plays in the next game. Lewis from downtown, no good. Rebound mishandled and knocked out of play. Nick Kuvelis. Last touch by him. Pischke going to bring it up again. Try to set up the offense as he looks at coach, who calls out the next play and directs traffic from the bench. Kaufman with it. Ulrich switches sides on the lane. Nice battle down underneath. Ulrich, the nice big 6'8" frame, unable to come up with that. Last touched by Kerr. So we'll see what Marian-Central has in store as they stack things up underneath their own basket. Ulrich with the small hook shot, no good. Rebound controlled somehow by Marian-Central. Little 5-footer put back was no good by Wyatt Awe, who's out there. Got a foul against Kerr. Picks up his third foul of the morning. And we got some pushing and shoving going on right there. And the official's going to nip that one in the bud right away. Kerr and Ulrich vying for position. Ulrich kind of pushed off a little bit. The official had seen enough and had the quick confab with them. In fact, Kerr's going to check out now. As number 35, Jason Hurley, is going to check in for the Bulldogs. And a technical foul called now from the Marian-Central bench. I think the official is saying that coach might have made his way a little too far onto the floor. So we'll decide now which Grant Bulldog is going to shoot the free throws. I'm a little surprised that Dupree is not in the game. He had 14 points in the first half. Don't have him notably down as being in foul trouble, as Mobley's first shot is well short that time. The official still discussing things now with the coach from Marian-Central, telling him exactly where he can and cannot go. And it looks like that discussion has ended as Mobley's second of the technical foul shots is good. Mobley has 11. Of course, the team will get possession of the ball too, so it's kind of a double whammy. I get a couple free shots. Oh, by the way, you get the ball too when those technical fouls are called. Lewis dribbles around in traffic, kicks it out far side. Mobley with it for three. That one's just a little short, but it rattles through. How about that? Had just enough on it to go. And Mobley now has got 14 points, and it's a 1-point game. Ulrich with the putback, though, says, nope, we're going to keep it a 3-point game, boys. He's got 16 points. Lewis into traffic, down in the corner now for three. That one's good. How about that? Ben Kuziak with three. He's got 6. Kaufman with it now. Bounce pass intended for Ulrich. Last slapped and touched by the Bulldogs. 48-46. Grant with the lead now. And a whistle away from the ball. It's a push foul on number 24, Josh Hornay, for Grant. Excuse me, Nick Kuvelis for Grant. For three, bounces around, it's no good. That was Wyatt Awe. We've got bodies everywhere as Wyatt Awe ended up down on the floor. Might have twisted his knee. The trainer's going to take a peek at him. And I think we're going to have an injury timeout here as Gavin Scott is going to check in for the injured Wyatt Awe. Looked like he may have twisted his knee. We'll find out here momentarily. Always a scary time, and he is in pain, no question about it. So hopefully Wyatt is okay. Didn't get a chance to see exactly what happened, but I'm assuming twisted that knee one way or the other. Hopefully it's nothing too bad down there for him. Anyway, back to the game. Logan Lewis has got it. Jason Hurley, who's checked in, gets it taken away. Things are getting a little bit more heated, a little bit more physical down there as Kaufman and Mobley were battling over the ball. Called that foul against Mobley. All right, we're going to take a look at what might have happened to Wyatt Awe as he fell down. They're telling me they've got a replay of it, so let's take a peek here. Yeah, he got caught up on, looked like he got caught up on the leg of Josh Hornet. We'll see it again. Yeah, his knee gets twisted around here, as you see. Goes up. Yeah, it looked like that left knee kind of got caught. So back to live action we are. It's a tie game now, 48-48, as Pischke's effort was good. Pischke's got 13. And a chance to extend that from the free throw line now as Sam Ulrich checks out. Pischke is good on the shooter's roll. Converted the and one. And a nice three-point play for him. Marian-Central back on top by one. We've got ourselves a game here. Things have gotten a little bit more physical in this quarter. Kyle Dupree has checked back into the game as Logan Lewis kind of throws a half hook up there, no good. We got a 2-on-1, get it down to Kaufman. Kaufman draws people in the air, gets the shot off, and that one is good. Kaufman's got 10. Logan Lewis now. Nice battle between the 2 point guards so far as the passing lane is jammed, knocked out of bounds by Hornet. Is that pass? Things get reset here with 2:42 remaining in the quarter. Ball is knocked away and out of bounds. Last touched by Marian-Central. Kuziak now going to do the inbound effort. Grant stacks it up, gets it to the point, and Logan Lewis dribbling around now with the left hand. Flick it far side, Kuziak. Kuziak dribbling in with the right. Strong, up in the air, it's good. Nice lay-in by Ben Kuziak. He has got 7 this quarter, 8 for the game. Pischke in the corner. Gets it to Kuvelis, who takes it up. That shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Hurley. Excuse me, that was Hornet with the shot on the basket for Marian-Central. Couple substitutions. Hornet checks out. Masinski checks in. Kaufman also checks out to take a breather. And a new man in there is number 22, Mark Miguel for Marian-Central. Hanging up in the air is Pischke. Pischke with another lay-in for the Marian-Central Hurricanes. What a player he is. Double point figures in both of the games that he's played in this tournament, including a 25-point effort on opening day. Back on Pischke again. Up, hanging, no, ends up on the floor again. You wonder how many times he can sustain that in a game, as the Bulldogs had a 2-on-2, and Dupree is fouled from behind. Dupree, who has sat most of the third quarter, had 14 points, including 11 points in the second quarter. Drew Walker's going to check back in. He had 5 points. Nice, easy one there for John Kerr. He's got 9 points this morning. Down in the corner, Masinski. Back to Pischke. Pischke with it, going to dribble in, try to spread things out. Little 15-footer, it's good. He likes to step back and do that too. Pischke is racking up the points now. He's got 18 in the game. He's landed on the floor a couple times really hard, hit the wall really hard once too. Like I said, you just wonder how much he can take in the course of just one ball game. Still a lot of basketball to go in this tournament. All these teams vying for pool position as Dupree knocks down another three-pointer. He's got 17. Again, why was he not in for most of the third quarter? It's a tie game nonetheless, 55-55, 42 seconds. Hurricanes are probably going to limit it to one more shot. Jack Masinski, who's got 5 points, alternates between right and left dribble. He's guarded by Logan Lewis. Handed off to Gavin Scott. Back to Masinski. Keep your eyeballs peeled on Pischke. He's got it now, near side, bringing around with the right hand. He's going to spread things out again. Pischke with it with just 15 seconds left. Kick it back over to Masinski. Back to Pischke. Between those two, 10 seconds. 8 on a running clock here. Pischke with it. Is he going to take the last one? Off balance, he does. Count it! What a shot by Adam Pischke. My goodness. Not only does he put his team up by 2, a chance to put them up by 3 with just 0.9 seconds left. Unbelievable. 20 points, now 21 on the game, 10 points in this quarter alone. Can Grant get it away? They can't. So after 3 quarters of play in a nice seesaw battle in that quarter, it's Marian-Central 58 and the Grant Bulldogs 55. Tell you what, let's take a quick breather. Let me get all the point totals added up, and going into the fourth quarter, we'll let you know who those are. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Hinkle Holiday Classic, sponsored by Meijer. Jack Masinski, Pischke, my goodness, 21 points, including 10 in that last quarter. 10 points for Tom Kaufman, 16 for Sam Ulrich. Hornet and Scott both with 3. For the Grant Bulldogs, really quick, 3 for Logan Lewis, 14 for Mobley, 8 for Kuziak, 9 for Kerr, 17 for Dupree, and 5 for Walker. Let's take a look at that incredible off-balance play that ended that last quarter. Here you see Pischke with it between the legs. Stops, drops, off balance, sinks it, and then he hits the subsequent free throw. What a play. Back to live action here. Logan Lewis lets go of a 3. It's no good. And who else but Adam Pischke's got as he brings it right to left. Marian-Central in the white. Grant Bulldogs in the solid red. From 15, that one's good. Tom Menner in the scoring column for the first time this morning. Logan Lewis brings it across, down into the low post. Action, nice hook shot. Kerr gets up, gets the shot away. It doesn't go, but he's fouled, and John Kerr is going to go to the line now for the Bulldogs. John Kerr, the 6'5" forward for Grant High School. He is just a junior. Lets that one go from the forehead. It's good. John's got double-digit points tonight, or excuse me, this morning, now with 10. Make it 11. 3-point game. Grant chasing 3. Back and forth battle. Pischke stops, drops, shoots, no good. Rebound taken down by Mobley. Mobley and Dupree both on the floor now at the same time. That's when they had their greatest scoring success this morning, was when both of those guys were on the floor. Whistle and a foul. Ulrich kneeling at the scorer's table. He's going to check back in here momentarily. And it looks like he is going to replace Tom Menner, who came in and had a quick field goal to put his team a little bit further in the lead. First one there by Kerr is good. 2 for 2 in the quarter already. And with these 2, puts himself at an even, or an odd rather, 3 for 4 with the makes versus the total number of chances. Masinski with it, brings it around with the right hand. Hands it off to Gavin Scott, nearly loses a dribble. Give it back to Pischke. In good hands with him, no doubt about that. Ulrich with the high pick. And the play slowing down here a little bit. Just a 2-point game. This has been one of the more exciting back-to-back battles that we've seen in the tournament. There's been a couple of them, but here in the morning is a good one. Mobley wants it as Walker's going to take it down. Gets it into the hands of Kerr, who shoots. It's no good. Rebound taken down, a whistle and a foul. It's going to head to the other side of the gym now. Both of these teams in the bonus. That could slow things down considerably. Looks like Mobley's going to check out, take a little bit of a rest as Ben Kuziak comes back into the game. He's got 8 points this morning. Hinkle Holiday Classic coming your way here. All this action live, unless, of course, you're watching the replay. Free throw attempt, no good by Gavin Scott. Quickly up the floor, Dupree nearly picks up the feet. Some of the fans wanted it. For three, that one rolls around and in, man, has he got a shooter's touch. Dupree again sinks a three. He has got 20 points this morning. Pischke in, that one doesn't go. Unable to draw a foul either. Logan Lewis flings it up the floor. Kuziak with it. Can he lose Ulrich? Doesn't bother. Gets it back to Lewis. Thought about the three for a second. No good. He's trapped down underneath, but a Kerr cuts to the basket, and that one's good. John Kerr and a timeout called by Marian-Central. They've got the lead now, 63-60. How about that? Dupree sinks that three-pointer that kind of bounced around, and gravity finally said, yeah, come on down. And that gave him his 20th point of the game. Again, he didn't play most of the third quarter. I don't have his foul total in front of me, and they don't have that portion of the scoreboard lit up. My goodness, what an effort for him. He had 14 points at the half, 11 of which are in the second quarter. Was in briefly in the third quarter, long enough to sink a three. And now he's back here in the fourth quarter and has done the same thing. 20 points for Kyle Dupree. And that has given the Grant Bulldogs the 3-point lead. Marian-Central talking things over now. You'd like to think Adam Pischke is going to figure in the conclusion of this one. He's got 21 points in the game, exploded in the third quarter for 10 points. And still a lot of time left, 5:54 remaining. Pretty balanced scoring attack for both of these teams. Marian-Central has 7 players in the scoring column. As does the Grant Bulldogs have 6 players in the scoring column. Pischke brings it up the floor, 5:52, clock running right to left. Here comes the white, red, and blue, guarded by those Grant Bulldogs in the solid red. Kaufman, far side, in the corner, gets it back. Pischke for three, nobody in front of him. That one rattles around, luckily enough for the Bulldogs, and doesn't go. That would have tied it up. Lewis, low pass to Kuziak. Here's Kerr from 16, no good. Knocked out of play, nearly saved by number 4, Jack Masinski for Marian-Central. Josh Hornay is going to check in as Mark Miguel has a seat. 63-60, Grant with the lead. Push it up to Pischke. Does he get an easy lay-in? He does. Count it. And he's going to go back to the line for the and one as he skids into the camera person. He was nice enough to ask the camera guy if he was okay. He can do no wrong. Pischke, 23 points with a chance to make it 24. He's had a game of 25 in this tournament. His free throw is good. The and one counted. My goodness, tie game, 63-63. You'd figured he would factor in at some point. 5:12 on the running clock here, official time on the scoreboard. Dupree is tied up, little two-man trap right there. Kick it over far side to Logan Lewis. Drew Walker down on the floor also. Kuziak gets it back to Lewis. Lewis looking to go low under the legs of Kerr, who was guarded by Ulrich. And a timeout comes from the Grant bench. That might have saved a possession right there. And with a 63-63 tie game, why not? There's John Kerr. Chance to see him come off the floor, as is Ben Kuziak and the rest. Logan Lewis sitting right there in a row. 4:49, 63-63 on the timeout. You see the fouls up there. 9 fouls for the Grant Bulldogs, 7 for Marian-Central. A couple of good stories brewing in this game. Pischke with he's got 24 points, as well as Kyle Dupree, who has got 20. Dupree scored a bundle in the second quarter, as we've mentioned a couple of times. 11 points in the second quarter. Didn't play most of the third for whatever reason, but he's been down there on the floor now. Let's take a look at the last layup that we saw here via the replay. We'll rewind it here as Pischke is virtually going to come right into your lap because the camera guy's right there. They switched the cameras, and look at that. There's Pischke, and at some point he actually looks up and asks the camera guy if he's okay. So not only can he score a bundle of points, he's also very polite. Adam Pischke having a great holiday tournament out here for Marian-Central, but a tie game nonetheless, 63-63. Kerr and Lewis a little back and forth. Three-pointer on the way. It's long. That one is no good. Kuziak launched that one. He gets it back. Can he get into the lane? He's fouled. And he is going to go to the line and shoot 2. Kuziak 1 for 2 with free throws this morning. He's got 8 points in the game. Make it 9 with the make right there. 64-63, the Bulldogs go up again by 1. Mobley checks out, and Kuziak hits the second one. Puts his team up by 2, 4:34. This is bound to be an exciting last few minutes of this game, and just a pool game, by the way. Not to diminish the importance of it. A win is a win is a win. But next game here will feature the Cary Grove Trojans against those ZBs from Zion Benton. Stay tuned for that. They've got a point guard that you will not believe. What speed and quickness. It's Deshaun Wilson Jr., who you'll see. Where's number 0, by the way? Little popper there. In and out by Andy Kay. It's no good. Marian-Central try to get something going. Ulrich will take another 3. That one is short. He had one earlier in the game and one earlier in the tournament. Why not? Up the floor to Kuziak. Stutter dribble at the right. Nearly loses the handle. Gets it back out to Logan Lewis. Logan Lewis looking down low. Has Andy Kay. Kay off the glass. It's no good. Looked like John Kerr might have got hit in the ear there, or the side of the head. And when you've got elbows and things flying around with some pretty big varsity players, sometimes those things happen. He says he's okay. The official's checking him out right now. Not bleeding, so he can stay down there on the floor. At any rate, Andy Kay is going to get to the line. Andy has yet to score, and anything now from the free throw line would be really important for him, because that would extend the lead for the Bulldogs. You cannot afford to miss free throws down the stretch, or really any time for that matter. When coaches look at the stat sheet at the end of the game, you know they're looking at how many makes and misses there are from the line. First one is good for Andy Kay. Puts his team up by 3, 66-63. 3:21. Next shot is good. 3:21 left on the clock. Moving now right to left. Marian-Central. Adam Pischke having a great game here this morning. From way back, it's good. It's almost an NBA 3 there. 19 feet is the arc. He had to be at least 5 feet behind that. That had to be at least a 23, 24, maybe a 25-footer. Strong to the hoop is Mobley. His shot no good. Rebound somehow controlled by Grant, and Kuziak throws it up off the hip, and it's good. 69-66. Grant with the lead. How many more times can Pischke do it? Down in the corner, Pischke gets it back. Dribbles in with the left, kicks it out to Tom Kaufman for three. Good. Kaufman drains the three. He's got 13, 69-69 the score. The plot thickens. Shot from the line. And Ben Kuziak is going to go back. He's got 12. 11 of those points have been in this half. First one is good. Make it 12 points in the half. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Logan Lewis checks out. Excuse me, that is Xavier Awe that checks out. The next free throw for Kuziak is good. And it's now a 2-point game. Adam Pischke likes to get that long three-point attempt on the way, and he hits another one. Unbelievable. He's got 27, 28, 29. He might have 30 points unofficially as I look at my score sheet here. Ball's tied up, and the arrow says it's going to go back to Marian-Central. Marian-Central's got the 1-point lead with a minute 39 to Ulrich. Pischke from way back. It's good. Unbelievable effort. 34 points unofficially for Adam Pischke. At times it seems he cannot miss. Marian-Central 75, the Grant Bulldogs 73. Pischke is having a morning here in this, the Hinkle Holiday Classic, sponsored by Meijer. Unbelievable effort. 31 points unofficially for Adam Pischke. He's had games of 25 and 19. And when you've got a guy as hot as that, you're going to keep going to him and going to him until he tells you he can't make it anymore. And so far, no indication of that for Adam Pischke. Again, he may be just looking to upgrade the Christmas gift selection that his family may be preparing for him, or maybe he just wants a few gifts from the rest of the guys on the team. As you see Adam there enjoying some water. Look of confidence, poise. He is absolutely dialed in right now. Both of these teams with 10 team fouls apiece. My goodness. It's been a seesaw battle coming down the stretch here, no question about that. Back and forth it has been. Looks out, finds Logan Lewis. Down in the post. We got anything cooking with Andy Kay. Kerr with it. Strong move. Has it taken away. Could be a key steal now for Marian-Central. They're going to have to make a foul and send somebody to the line. Pischke's probably not the guy that you want to do it to. Going to go in stall mode right here. Pischke with it is wrapped up, and the dainty foul is called. Not a whole lot of contact, but a whistle nonetheless. And Pischke with a chance to try and put it away if he hits both of these shots. Pischke's going to be the lone hurricane out there. Doesn't take a lot of time when he shoots these. Sinks that one, give him 32. 33 as it rolls in. Hot as he is, he's going to get those rolls. Up by 4 is Marian-Central. They've got a basket to give. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3. Lewis, off balance 3 is good. Are you kidding? Man, we've got a shootout here at Jacobs High School. It's a 1-point game. 77-76. Marian-Central clinging to that 1-point lead. They will be inbounding. Grant is going to apply some serious pressure on this inbounds pass. No doubt about that. Let's take a look at that off-balance 3 that Logan Lewis drained just a couple seconds ago. Here it is right here. Get a chance to see Logan. Off balance, guarded closely by Pischke. Bam, hits it. And that's what makes it the 1-point lead. There was a quick timeout and a whistle after that shot. You better believe it. Both of these teams now, see how tactical they get. Both coaches furiously talking to their teams. Coach Price over here on the Marian-Central side drawing up a play. More eye contact by Wayne Bosworth for his Grant team. Grant with a chance to spoil a terrific performance by Adam Pischke should they somehow come back and win this one, and they're only chasing one. 7.9 seconds left on the clock. This is a crucial inbound now for the Marian-Central Hurricanes, and this a game that they'll be sure to rewatch here on the Hinkle Holiday YouTube channel. Man, it's been a pleasure to bring you this one. Ben Erickson and our entire high school production crew from South Elgin High School. Pischke will inbound, gets it to Ulrich. Ulrich is promptly fouled with just 1/10 of a second coming off the clock. So Sam Ulrich, the big 6'8" center for Marian-Central, is going to go to the line. Sam, by the way, is 3 for 3 from the free throw line. One of those a conversion of the and one. Sam with 16 points, now make it 17 points. Pischke will be the lone man to join Ulrich on this half of the floor, while Dupree will sit far back on the other side of the floor for the Bulldogs. Ulrich's second effort is good. That puts Marian-Central up by 3, 6 seconds, 5, Kuziak with it, 3, 2, Dupree, can he throw up a prayer? He does, bounces off the backboard and it's no good, and a winner for the Marian-Central Hurricanes. They improve to 8-3. The Grant Bulldogs 4-6 on the season, and what a game by Adam Pischke for Marian-Central. Let me do some quick math and we'll update you on the scoring here in about 30 seconds. What a game. Look at these teams greet each other. Unbelievable. Marian-Central comes away with it, and what an effort by the fine point guard from the Hurricanes. We'll tell you about it here in just a minute. Sinski, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Post game, and let's tell you about how scoring went down. First for the Grant Bulldogs, who lose a tough one. They're 4-6 on the season, 1-2 in the tournament. Logan Lewis had 3 points, James Mobley with 14, Ben Kuziak with 14, John Kerr with 15, Andy Kay with 4, and Kyle Dupree with 20, despite having sat out most of the third and fourth quarters. Drew Walker had 5. Now for the Marian-Central Hurricanes, victorious and improving to 8-3 on the season, and 2-1 in this Hinkle Holiday Classic. Jack Masinski had 5, Tom Kaufman, with 13, Sam Ulrich with 18, Josh Hornay with Scott with 3, Tom Menner with 2, and the story of the morning, and perhaps the story of the tournament scoring-wise, the fine point guard Adam Pischke from Marian-Central, unofficially 36 points in this one, including 1, 2, 3, 4 3-pointers. Unbelievable effort for Adam Pischke. That's the way it was here on December 22nd, 2015. Marian-Central wins this pool game again by the final score of 79-76. Thanks for being aboard here on the Hinkle Holiday Classic channel, sponsored by Meyer. It's been me, Ben Erickson. More exciting basketball coming your way as we improve and move our way to game number 19 right after this.